For those who remain, death should never take precedence over life. Pay your last respects to your friend. Then we must hold council.
It has long been said that the Witcher has never died in his own bed. But yeah, not as if it makes it any easier, is it? The defenders of Kaer Morhen did what they could do to hold back their attackers, but the enemy's strength was overwhelming. The Wild Hunt had made it to the very walls of Kaer Morhen. Warrior after warrior felt our heroes' blows, but others immediately took their place. The defenders fell back beyond the inner gates of the fortress, and so began the last phase of the battle. It was a dark hour for the defenders of Kaer Morhen. The generals of the Hunt had entered the fray personally. Vesemir had died by Imralith's hand, and it seemed that all the Witcher's friends would soon share his fate. The defenders were hanging by a thread when suddenly Ciri's magic talent revealed its full force. In an uncontrolled outburst of rage, she pummeled both allies and enemies alike with a blast of pure power. The Hunt's forces were nearly wiped out, leaving them no choice but to retreat. Only our valiant defenders, exhausted, wounded, but still alive, remained on the field of battle. The Battle of Kaer Morhen was over. Those who survived buried Vesemir, but had little time for mourning. The danger had only been thwarted temporarily though, and they needed to prepare a new plan for saving Ciri.
What's on your mind?
Kaer Morhen. Can't imagine this place without Vesemir. I'll head down the valley soon, then find somewhere else to winter next year.
Personally, seems a bit reactionary that, but who am I to say?
I get you.
Try my luck in Lormark. There's always work where there's war. After that, we'll see.
Till next time.
See you, Wolf.
Malsak?
Thank you.
Please. She was my ward, too. And the old should only ever stick around to help the young. You know, this hardly ends your struggle.
I know.
Whatever you aim to do now, remember you'll find souls willing to aid you in Skellige. Myself, Krach, his children.
Yeah, thanks, Malsak.
Thanks. I'll remember that.
I shall take another look at the wounded. But I'll need to go soon. I'll leave you some medicines.
Go in health, Ermion.
Till we meet again.
You too?
So, tell me.
I can say I've seen it all now.
I still don't believe everything that happened.
Risked your lives for me. How can I repay you?
We'll think of something. Right?
Definitely.
What will you do?
We're bound for Novigrad. To fight the next fight.
If you miss us, look for us at the camp.
That was tough.
We managed.
Thanks for helping.
You're welcome.
Seems in the conversation so far, all anyone wants to do is leave this place. Is that a justification to say what's next? Have a viper at home in the school of the wolf? It's debatable, but I'm doing it anyway.
Would you consider staying at Kaer Morhen?
It'd be nice. At least for a while, till I figure out what's next.
Agreed. Do it.
Lambert's likely to be the spikiest one, so...
Come to see how I'm feeling. Thanks. Not bad.
That's good.
Son. Horrible about Vesemir. I know you were close.
Thanks. We were.
Listen, far be it from me to stick my beard, but it'll no scratch an itch. So don't take this the wrong way. I want to help, whatever you decide, but to my mind, we've got to counterattack. We've got to find the Hunt, Eredin, and charge at them both like a bull at a heifer.
What do you even say to that? I enjoy the enthusiasm, but right now there's a whole other plan to be drawn up. Do we just do this over and over again forever? There's something very Ciri-centric which has to take place here, and I'm not even sure what it is.
Not that simple, unfortunately. We have no way of finding them. They find us easily. Can take us by surprise whenever they want.
Forgive me, Geralt, but that's the blathering of a man who clearly can't snap out of it after a tragic loss.
Touché.
Sleep it off, whatever it takes. Just get yourself together and think things through.
I'll do that, Sultan.
Kira?
Thanks for everything you did for me and Ciri.
May I be honest? Had I known what would happen here, I'd never have come anywhere near Kaer Morhen. I'm glad I could help, but I shall leave as soon as Lambert feels better.
I have to ask.
You going together?
I've an idea, but I need a witcher to help me see it through. Lambert has agreed to assist me.
Good luck. And thanks again.
We're even now.
Bit of direction for the guy. And here we go, there's a fire there. Why do I get the impression there's an even more fierce one brewing right in front of me?
Can we talk?
What about?
He's gonna go off like a bomb. I just know it. I just know it, but I have to. I have to.
Holding up all right?
Love questions like that. Am I holding up? What? My dick? This is shit, Geralt, and you know it. I knew the old man couldn't live forever. Even told Eskel that when it came time, I'd get his sword. Fits my hand perfectly, you know? But Vesemir deserved a better death. Whereas he died like a louse. Crushed.
We'll avenge him.
Doesn't look that rosy to me.
Right. Rest of these don't really seem very in context for the moment, so I'd rather risk not saying them to break the mood.
See you later.
Yeah, take care.
That's everyone.
I'll remember your teachings always. And the sacrifice you made.
And what's the year? 1272? Something like that? It's 1270s, right? Vesemir... Vesemir would have been alive before, like, what? The 1000? That's insane. Right. Let's go find everyone else.
Geralt can harness immense amounts of the power. Why has no one taught her to control this?
Actually, some did teach her.
Clearly to no effect.
I'll gladly argue with you about this some other time.
Haven't had a chance to talk. Thanks for your help. And for looking after Ciri.
You will thank me later. Now we must take Geralt from here, hide her, and then gather a greater force.
Anyone, everyone we could count on came here to Kaer Morhen.
Which is why we must seek the help of enemies. Magic is our best defense against the Hunt. We need sorceresses. Archmistresses of magic.
See where this is going?
Many of the Lodge's members are dead. The rest are in hiding.
Philippa Eilhart, Margarita Loantil, and Fringilla Vigo are likely still alive.
And Francesca and Ida? Think they'd agree?
I think they'll take convincing. Would you rather speak to Kira alone?
That would probably be best.
Oh, what would Geralt say with the Lodge? It's been too long since I've actually read a book where, like, the Lodge are directly involved. Like, I've read a lot of chapters, recently. There was, I'm sure there was one in The Lady of the Lake, which I've just finished now, by the way, which, Ciri was talking to Philippa. It was in the aftermath of everything. Yeah, she had a nickname for Philippa. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. As for Geralt's stance on things, I don't like them two, man. Don't want to involve the Lodge, doesn't look like we have a choice. Because look, it doesn't look like we have a choice at this point, but also don't want to involve the Lodge. I'm going to lodge the first response, pardon the pun, and I expect it's going to be pushed back and going to be overruled anyway, so hey, it's completely nonplussed by the end of things.
I don't want the Lodge anywhere near Ciri. Just don't trust those women.
What would you have us do instead? Fight alone and die a beautiful but pointless death? No, Geralt. By some miracle, we survived that fight, eking out a measly victory at enormous cost. No more guerrilla warfare. Time to face the enemy in open battle. I've made an agreement with the Emperor. In exchange for its help, the Lodge will be granted amnesty and find asylum in Nilfgaard. That will be our bargaining chip.
Damn.
Triss, I wish to leave today to find the sorceresses. Will you help me?
Of course. Even got an idea where you could start.
Damn it! Again you planned without even asking what I think. I've had enough of this. I won't be taken somewhere like a bundle. I will not sit and twiddle my thumbs. I am sick of waiting, sick of hiding.
We do gotta protect you, man. But you're also right. Can't coddle someone forever. Oh. I'd imagine this would be so hard on Geralt and Yen with the whole parental instincts. Neither of them can bear children, yet those instincts never go away, man. And a coddled child is a terrible child. That's a universal truth. She isn't a child anymore. Look, you're right. You're right, really.
You're right. Prove today you can take care of yourself.
Easier to pat someone on the back and hope things will work out than it is to face the truth. Geralt possesses a great power she cannot control. She is a danger to herself, to others. Until she learns to control it, she should remain isolated.
First of all, bollocks. Second, if you're going to speak of courage, at least address me directly, and not through Geralt. I'm gone.
Ciri needs time.
True, but she also needs training. She must learn to control her abilities.
This training really necessary?
You saw what happened. She could be a greater threat than the Hunt.
Fine. We'll stay here a while longer, then join you and Triss in Novigrad. Meet at Dandelion's Inn.
Come on, Yen. The sooner we leave, the better.
See ya.
not working, don't you see?
Discouraged after a mere 8 attempts? Cyril,
How many times must I try?
as many as it takes.
But I'm not getting anywhere.
We shall return to this later.
Didn't make it far first time out on the gauntlet either.
Geralt, please, not now. By comparison, the gauntlet was a walk in the park. But that's not the point.
What is?
Avallac'h says nothing will come of this until I stop thinking about the battle. But at the moment, I find it impossible to fill my head with kittens and vanilla pudding. Tell me, how do you do it?
What?
Always manage to pull yourself together. Focus. No matter what's happening.
There's a certain ancient method. Vesemir taught it to me, and Barman taught it to him.
Will you take me into the mountains and make me drink hemlock?
The Skellige druids have used it for centuries. It always works.
Hey! You'll regret that.
Hey, that's cheating.
That's definitely not fair.
We'll see about that.
Socked you with it. Right. Unlucky. Well, that was just pitiful. You know, I'm trying to do some critical thinking right now. This is just far too absorbing. It's so slow. How is that cheating? The only thing that would make this even with me wearing high heels, I know I can't stop mentioning it, but it's true. More snow? Right now. You're right in plain sight and I can't see you. You down there? No? Oh, there you are. You've not even hit me once. I've just missed twice. Inadvertently dodged that attempt. And completely buggered that one. One more for the road. Ooh. Buggered that one. You know, it's a good thing Witch is on. Ow.
Nice.
Have another go. Oh, fair enough, don't.
You were right. That really works. Thanks.
Glad to be of service. So what now?
I'll go see where our dearest sage is. Geralt. Geralt! Wake up!
What? What's happening?
Get up. We must go. I've saddled the horses.
Ciri, it's the crack of dawn. Where do you want to go?
To Velen. Bald Mountain. But a few days till the Witch's Sabbath. And guess who's the guest of honor?
Interesting attention to detail. She's now wearing a Witcher medallion. Huh. Oh, Vesemir's Witcher medallion. What's coming down the beaten track, Ciri?
Dunno. Enlighten me.
Imlerith. We'll have no better chance to get him.
Where'd you get this idea? What's gotten into you?
I must avenge Vesemir. The Sabbath. It's the perfect opportunity. Imlerith will be drunk among his cohorts, caught up in the revelry. He'll not expect the blow.
How'd you learn about the Sabbath, Ciri?
How'd you learn all this? Imlerith? The Sabbath?
Avalok. He told me of those who chase us. Claims knowledge itself can tip the scales. Come. We shall talk on the way.
Wait. Something I gotta tell you before we go. You know, the Emperor really wanted you found.
Yennefer mentioned something.
Wanted you to visit him.
Why would you tell me now?
'Cause this could be your last chance to see your father.
Think I should go?
There we go. It's one of those timed decisions where I have to make it quite impulsively. But I think it's... You know, what's become apparent with this playthrough is that there's two angles of thought, and I may have laid this out already, but I just want to go over it fairly briefly. Originally, my intention was to make decisions in the moment as Geralt and try to justify them. But as I've come up against some patchy writing here and there, there's now like a second element to it. There's now an element of outcome. There's role-playing in the moment, making decisions in the moment, and then there's Sapkowski-esque outcomes, which I may have to justify in the moment to achieve. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now, as for this situation... I've more or less hit across it to at least bring it out into the open, but now I think gotta make your own decision would probably be the best course of action. Not just for me personally, but I think for Geralt as well, really. Yeah, you should go. Come on. Wouldn't go if I were you. Is there an imminent threat? If you were to go off all the the book material, in the same sense, but that's a bit hypocritical though, if I was to go down the wouldn't if I were you route, because Avalak's here, and Avalak's changed his motivations apparently. And so has Amir. Amir wishes to abdicate rather than impregnate. Yeah. So in this case, I'm fairly justified with gotta make your own decision. The outcome of this is an interesting one, considering, well, shall we say, reasons of state. And not in the way that you'd expect.
Ought to decide for yourself.
But I want your opinion. Should I go or not?
Bloody hell, Ciri. Bloody hell. What you doing? Well, you know what? One last thing before I actually, make a decision here. Gaunter O'Dim and his recommendations. This is a funny thing to discuss because, well, how do I put this? I think Gaunter O'Dim's recommendations may happen to not have a conflict of interest with what book Geralt would do. They are pretty vague, and they are open for interpretation, though if you know what's coming down the line, they are fairly direct and not very open for interpretation. Again, that's the two schools of thought of being in the moment and knowing the outcome and working towards a certain outcome. But I have a feeling, though, in going, reciting what Gaunter O'Dim has recommended is probably a good idea. Never, ever make her feel as if you sold her out. Is that the path we're starting to walk?
Probably just wants to talk.
How can you be sure? What if he wants something more?
Promised me he wouldn't force you to do anything.
So I should go?
He is your father.
Vizima is on the way. I suppose we can drop in.
You know, Vizima actually is on the way.
Ready?
Let's go.
At least this time isn't fake, Siri.
Your Imperial Majesty, Geralt of Rivia, and
Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, Queen of Sintra, Princess of Bruges, and Duchess of Sutton, heiress to Innes Ard Skellig and Innes Anne Skellig, and suzerain of Atra and Abiara. Get used to it. Before long, every soul from Nilfgaard to the Dragon Mountains will kneel before you. I did not expect you to keep your word, Witcher.
This is a very delicate situation.
Ciri wanted to hear what you have to say.
And she will. Your reward.
Didn't come to collect on a deal. You asked me to bring your daughter here. I did just that. Ciri will hear you out, then we leave.
Are you sure? Never again would you need to stalk monsters while wading through sewage.
I'm sure.
I understand. Honor prevents you from accepting coin. In that case, a stallion, a thoroughbred Nilfgaardian, awaits you in the stables. Treat it as an expression of my gratitude.
Thank you.
Now forgive me. I wish to speak to my daughter.
Alright, let's leave it to it. Time for another roach in... Well, how many different roaches have we had by now? The only one that stayed the same is Vernon Roach at this point.
White Wolf, good to see you.
Greetings, General.
You had no trouble crossing the Pontar, I trust.
None.
I take it you crossed via the ford near Banglin? It's fortunate you did not choose to ride through Rind, a troubled region still. Radovid seeks to breach the front in the west. But he'll not succeed. Not before the princess becomes empress and we bring order to the area.
Interesting. Rind, or Rind, as this Nilfgaardian is pronounced it as. Wasn't that where the last wish took place? Like the actual short story itself? In Lind. Interesting. And not before the princess becomes empress and we bring order to the area. If she becomes empress, he becomes emperor. I have a feeling I'm staring right at him.
Ciri hasn't agreed to that yet.
Yes, of course, she's tactful, not one to celebrate an offer not yet made. But this is not the kind of offer one refuses.
It isn't, General Vuris?
Isn't it?
Do you know any who would not like to be Emperor of Nilfgaard? Can you imagine? I thought only the wine-addled minds of bards and poets could give birth to such stories. The prodigal daughter of the most powerful ruler in the continent's history returns on the eve of his final triumph to embrace her inheritance. Simpletons adore such stories as they do the princesses, ever beautiful and delicate while the...
Geralt, we're leaving.
So nice to see you, my lady.
Likewise. Time we were on our way.
A shame you can't stay. I hope to continue this on another occasion.
That makes one of us.
Well?
If he thinks he can buy me, he is sorely mistaken.
He offer anything specific?
Yes, very specific. And thoroughly absurd. Sorry, I don't want to talk about it. Not now, at least.
Won't pressure you. When you're ready, let's go.
Already been a 12-day excursion. 7 days of Azima. 5 days down here.
The men at Crow's Perch, they spoke of this place. Ard Serbin, home of the Ladies of the Wood. The peasants feared coming here, and the Baron thought the Ladies of the Wood a terrifying tale for naughty children. Incidentally, I wonder how the Baron is.
Hanged himself after his wife died. Daughter's in Novigrad.
A true shame.
A true example of what I was talking about earlier. Such a... Geralt and that witch hunter, you know, working the way through the curse. Not a single, like, sword drawn when they're down below in the witch's place. Or lady's place, rather. Like, I really enjoy that scene, I really, really do. It's so Sapkowski-esque. But the price to pay to get there with the tree spirit and whatnot, that takes some justifying that. If I remember the episode where I discussed that, wasn't it like an hour and 13 minutes long? Half an hour of which was me deliberating over the decision I was about to make, yes, but try justify is the more, you know, better way of putting it. So how do you know Imlerith will actually be there? How? It's like an event taking place here, like a proper scheduled event. Is the event to do with the Ladies of the Wood? Is it a culturally significant event? If it's a culturally significant event, why the hell would Imlerith be there? It's not as if he's not just part of this culture, he's not even part of this bloody plane of existence.
We stand to find Imlerith here? You sure?
Avalok told me of beings who commune with the NL elves. They can be found in every part of our world. In Velen, the crones do this. Apparently, Imlerith came here at Eredin's behest, to order the crones to keep their eyes open and ears pricked, in case Avalok were to seek shelter in his Velen hideout.
Took the order literally, judging by all the ears hanging in the woods. Think Imlerith might still be here?
He craves the pleasures of the flesh, wine, sex. The crones indulge him, flatter his ego. I'm certain he'd not let this opportunity pass, and will be on Bull Mountain for the Sabbath.
Interesting then. You personally familiar with this place? Or is it literally just that the Baron's men were talking about it?
You actually know this area?
Centuries ago, it was a hallowed site for druids. But then the crones arrived, destroyed the Velen Circle, and deformed the sacred oak atop the mountain. An important feast is observed here annually. The Sabbath, they call it. All the local folk attend. I suspect Imlerith attends too, as the crone's guest.
Seem to know it well.
Avalok's a good tutor.
Very well then. Let's be going.
Let's get this done.
We must reach the peak. We'll find Imlerith there. The peasant folk of Velen call this night the Feast of Gifts. I've no idea why.
I reckon we'll find out. Well, look at this foot traffic. It'll be recent on sand like this as well. Wow. A genuine event.
Loads of footprints. Crowd of peasants came through here.
Shall we? Bald Mountain.
Havelach claims vanity is Imlerith's greatest weakness.
Vanity?
Any foe he faces, he strives to impress. The other one, Caranthir, is said to be secretive and pragmatic. Hardly surprising, given he was Avalok's student.
Caranthir was the... what do you call it? Oh, the words on the tip of my tongue. Person who... oh, come on, Bonar, apply yourself.
The White One once served the ladies.
But he's an outsider!
Let them approach.
But...
they've come for the feast. Wouldn't do to cast them out.
Didn't come to celebrate. We need to get to the top of the mountain.
The gate is shut. You'll not pass. But we've fires down that away, with food and drink aplenty. Sit down beside one, and perhaps this year the ladies will descend. Give us the privilege of seeing them.
Interesting. White One serves the ladies. Suppose Geralt does now in a strange sort of way.
We thank you for the invitation. Be glad to sit down, right?
Speak for yourself.
Come with me.
Let's at least be polite, Ciri. Now how many chapters I've managed to go through in these books of you not being polite, especially at these kind of events. It's a bit hypocritical considering, you know, playing as Geralt, but oh, here we go. Let's not think too much into it. So, the ladies descend to you. What happens then?
Ladies of the Wood visit you?
If they favor us. My father told me they descended once. Passed from fire to fire, listening to hopes and grievances. So each year, we wait for them to walk amongst us once more.
Haven't done it in a long time, then.
No point waiting to see if we'll get lucky.
Yeah, we gotta try to reach the peak.
Funny talking about that so openly. This gate, then, why can't we get past it?
Mentioned a gate. Said we wouldn't pass.
Only the chosen visit the ladies. Every year, young lads and lasses climb the mount, but never more than 3.
Let me guess. The young lads and lasses don't return.
No, they return happy and radiant. But rare is the one who then stays in Velen. Off they go to seek fortune in the wider world.
Interesting. What's the feast celebrate them?
This celebration, what's it about?
What do you need to know, Wanderer?
No need for anger. The White Ones serve the ladies as we do now.
Put that there, you're not even aiming it at me.
We send them gifts all year long. And on this night, they repay us with their blessing.
I met one of your gifts to the crones. Snivelling. Scared to death and about 8 years old.
Stay calm.
So, let's hear it from your mouth then. Why do the ladies need your children?
Your children? Why do the ladies need them?
It's a bit obvious,
No,
but...
not never ask.
You don't know? Then let me tell you.
Tell us instead what a peasant, his own young and starving, is to do with a wandering war orphan.
True.
You're not
True.
from here. Don't judge us by others' laws.
Exactly. I love that in these kind of fictional universes anyway. It's just a whole of a value system. A whole of a value system that you just can't... If you suspend your disbelief and take part in another value system in another world, like, man, it's so great to explore. I love that. The ladies bless you then. What's that about?
Said the ladies bestow blessings on you.
Aye, for our lives turn thus. First a summer of labouring neath the hot sun, then autumn rains, then a winter of death. Then we await spring, when all that is dead is born anew. And from our blood and sweat the oak bears acorns, at times few, at times a handful.
What do you do with the acorns?
The Velen elders gather, hold council. Some favour grinding them to spread on the fields for a rich harvest. Others want them given to a cunning woman who'd make medicine for consumption.
A handful of enchanted acorns is enough for all Velen.
'Tis never enough.
Changing topics then.
Heard enough about this. We've got other questions.
On second thought, we should go.
We should be going.
Eager to see the ladies. I share your yearning.
We're afire with yearning. Come, Geralt. We must get there before daybreak.
Go to the tent and stand before Thekla. She's the one who decides who's worthy to face the ladies.
Thekla, then Ciri. Have to find out now who Thekla is. Thekla the Feckless.